Welcome back to another video. Today we're not going to spend as much time on this here in front of you. Today was prompted by this picture that I posted on my story. I got it from my boy over there, Whiteboard Finance, Marco over at Whiteboard Finance. Much larger channel. The guy knows a lot about macroeconomics, so definitely recommend you give him a follow if you get a chance. But it basically was this picture that is the average net worth of millennials. So I want to pop this up on the screen for you right now. And basically I wanted to tell you guys my story. So I started here in my career essentially after I got out of college in 2017. This is where I was at, but I wasn't at this number. I was at negative $90,000, and this is in January of 2018. So I started way behind the power curve as far as these numbers, but now, as you can see on the screen here, I'm at $121,276. So the question is, how did I get there, right? These numbers, I'm not even on the chart anymore, and it's only been 3 years, right? It's been 3 years and 2 months. So how did I get there? That's what we're here to talk about today. If you do appreciate my videos, please do give them a thumbs up. It really helps out with the algorithm, and let's get into the video. So I've got 9 steps written down here of how to essentially go from living this average life, which looks like a struggle. I mean, think about it. At 39, if you have that much money, that is definitely, you're gonna have to try to retire in about 20, 25 years. You're not tracking along very well. So how do you go from the point where you're not in a great place to you're in a much better place? I wouldn't call myself rich, but I'm definitely much more secure today. Number 1 is calculate your net worth and start to track it every month, as well as tracking your expenses. So my favorite way to do that is through Excel. I know that there are some paid things such as You Need a Budget and other things that probably do the job just as well, but I can do everything that I need to do within Excel. So this is my little tracker. I've showed this plenty of times. I'm not going to get too deep into this, but just seeing what your assets are versus your liabilities for all of you guys out there that don't know how to calculate your net worth, first time seeing this, anything that you owe is a negative, anything that you own is a positive. So house, car, positive, mortgage debt, negative, student loan debt, negative, credit card debt, negative. I don't have any credit card debt, I don't have any student loan debt, all I have is a mortgage debt. So somebody actually asked me, like, how do you say that you're positive but you owe this much on your mortgage? It's because if you had to sell the house and you owe this much on the house, it's net positive. Right, so that's how that works. Don't owe anything on my car. All right, so after we've done number 1, which is calculate your net worth and track it and track your expenses, we're gonna move into number 2, which is work more and work side hustles. Okay, so I've got you guys here, the top 15 side hustles, and I've got a lot of good stuff to share with you guys. I definitely recommend watching this one all the way through. So I'm just gonna show these on the screen and show you guys that there's a couple of these that I actually did, like ride sharing. I actually did that. Tutoring, if you're good at a subject, you could tutor. You could start a blog. I started this YouTube channel. You could sell stuff. I actually sold my video games. I sold my TV. I sold everything. You could be a handyman, odd jobs, babysitting, just using your time in such a way that brings in money, right? So one thing that's really funny that this also prompted this video was that someone basically came up to me and was like, Casey, you're always working, man. What kind of life is that? But when you look at how far I've come in the past 3 years, and you look at how far the average person has not come in 2 or 3 years, you see the reason for the process, right? Because, if I was an asshole like I used to be back in the day, when somebody came up to me and asked me, hey, why are you always working? I would ask them, why are you always broke? So anyways, but I confine myself to not saying things like that anymore. I'm a nicer person in my older age. But anyways, working, using your time wisely, right? Using your time to constantly be chickening away and getting to the life that you want to live. So another thing that I wanted to mention before we move on to the next thing about that mentality is that a lot of people will tell you like, hey, you could die tomorrow. Well, first of all, what's the most likely outcome of tomorrow? Most likely outcome of tomorrow is that I don't die and that I live on to be old and I have to somehow support myself during that time. The other thing that people will say, oh, I'm happier because I'm enjoying everything that I have now. Here's the reality of that situation. The person who's quote unquote enjoying what they have now in the moment, living in the now, they've already given up on the life that they truly want to live. And it's a sad fact, but it's true. The person who's putting in the work to get to the life that they want to live, they haven't given up on the life that they want to live. So it's a lot more depressing to be that person who doesn't live the life they want to live than the person who's grinding and trying to get to the life that they want to live. So next time somebody says that to you, just remember that you are the person who hasn't given up on the life that you want to live. And that's the reality of the situation. All right, number 3 is start investing. So start investing and having money work for you instead of working for money. So I'm not saying quit your job. I'm not going to be one of those fake gurus on here that says quit your job, but a couple of my favorite ways to get started investing are, number 1 is monthly dividend stocks. So this is ticker symbol O, or Realty Income. It's one of my favorite stocks because it'll start paying you immediately, right? As long as you buy before this date right here, you own on this date, that XF date, you will get paid on this payment date, 4/15. So imagine if you bought 100 shares of this, it would cost you about $6,400 and you would get paid $23.50 every month. That's kind of your sign to say, this investing thing is actually pretty cool. I need to keep on doing this. Same thing with this SPHD stock. Okay, this pays out monthly. So let's say you wanted to make $14 a month. You buy 100 shares of this, it's going to cost you about $4,200. And there you go. Now you get paid $14 a month. And you realize, like, hey, this investing thing is actually pretty cool. So are these great stocks? I'm not necessarily saying that they're necessarily great stocks, but what I am saying is that it's a shift in mindset, and that's what I'm trying to get at here. Another thing I like is ETFs. So ETFs, basically, it's just a basket of stocks. So VOO is a really good one. It just tracks the S&P 500. You could buy into QQQ, that's the NASDAQ. You could buy into DIA, that tracks the Dow Jones Industrial Average. But anyways, getting started when you don't know exactly what you're doing, those are 3 great routes. And the last thing is to get started on reading. So let's go into number 4. Number 4 is stop paying for food. So we're going to go into another tab here. And people are like, what do you mean stop paying for food? So mystery shopping. Mystery shopping is a method used by market research companies and organizations which wish to measure the quality of sales and service, job performance, regulatory compliance, and gather specific information about market or competitors, including products and services. So basically what you can do as a mystery shopper is you can go into any store, you can buy their products, you can typically get paid back for, like, let's say food, or you could go to, say, a theme park or something, and you'll get paid back by the mystery shopping company because they're running a study on that company. So you can basically start getting paid to eat. You can start getting paid to go to theme parks. You can start getting paid to go to hotels. You can start getting paid to go get your phone service. So this is a great way to save money by just not spending money. So a lot of people do not know about mystery shopping. There's plenty of companies. If we just scroll down here, I just typed in mystery shopping, and there's all of these different companies. So find one in your local area and stop paying for food. Number 5 is stop paying your rent. So house hacking. This is something that I am currently doing. Basically, it's renting out the parts of your house that are unused, or you could even do rent hacking, where you're renting a place, but you rent out the extra rooms. If you have a 2-bedroom apartment, you could rent out the extra rooms. Even if you have a 1-bedroom house, you have a 1-bedroom condo, you could rent out your garage, depending on where you're at, renting out your unused stuff. You could even rent out your unused car if you have an extra one. You could rent out your car if you wanted to start, let's say, busing to work, basically just making some sacrifices. All right, number 6 is stop paying your taxes. So all of these sound very illegal, but I promise you they are not. I just want to tell you guys a story. Last year, 2020, I made, on paper, $76,000, but my net worth is up by $100,000 year over year. So how you do that is you basically hide your income with these either write-offs if you're doing a business, or through things like a 401k, right? Roth IRAs, not paying taxes later. Things like just hiding income within your retirement accounts. So another thing that I want to say about retirement accounts is that you should at least be getting the match. All right, that's an automatic increase in your income. Let's say that your employer offers a 5% match. If you don't take that 5% match, you're basically making 5% less than you would be if you were to just put in 5%, right? So you're essentially giving yourself a raise if you at least get the match. And that leads us into number 7, which is say yes to free money. So we got some good ones here. This is bankrate.com, and these are just the summary of the best bank bonuses according to bankrate.com. So check out all these bank bonuses. All you have to do is sign up, usually for direct deposit for one of these banks, and they'll just give you free money, right? So you got to start saying yes to free money. And there's also some referral bonuses down here. We've got Chime, which I have a referral link down below. We have Chase. I have some of these referral links down below in the description if you want to just go get some free money. I always plug those, but not a lot of people click on them. There's some free money to be had out there. So start saying yes to free money. The Points Guy, this guy's great. If you go to thepointsguy.com, he's going to show you a lot of pretty cool stuff. So you look at this intro offer. There's money that you're already spending on food, on other things already. And if you just were to put them on one of these cards and sign up for these cards, these points, you can basically count these as 1 cent or a little bit more depending on what you redeem them for. So this is just free money. If you're already going to spend this money, you might as well get these points. You might as well get these miles, free trips, free cash back. Go to thepointsguy.com, and I'm not sponsored by him or anything like that, but it's just a good way to get some extra money. Okay, the last one that I have on here before we close out the video is start increasing your APY. So this is a great bank. It's still the highest interest rate that I've seen out there. It's a HM Bradley account. I have a dedicated video to HM Bradley, but if you go down here to my actual interest payments, they're really high. All right, it's $29. That one's not as high as I had just set up the account. $23, $29. My next one should be in the 30s because I have actually fully funded this emergency fund. So this is a 3% APY account, and I have the link where you can sign up for this down in the description below. So this is how I want to close out the video, and it is number 9, be okay with 1, not being normal, 2, discomfort, and 3, staying humble. 1, not being normal, because when you're working and working and working, most people are not going to be doing that. And most people, like we saw at the beginning of the video, are going to be broke. Number 2, be okay with discomfort. Doing something like house hacking, that means that you're going to be you're going to be uncomfortable. Okay, your space is going to be a little bit more cramped. If you're renting out your car, for example, you're not going to have your car. If you're basically, like if you sell something, I had to sell one of my favorite possessions, which was my old Toyota Tacoma. It wasn't as comfortable for me to move into a Toyota Corolla. You got to be okay with that discomfort. Be okay with staying humble. You know, a lot of us want to go out there and flex. We want to get that Gucci. We want to, you know, have the nice clothes. We want to have the nice car. We want to have the nice house before we're ready to pay for the payment. But we have to be okay with staying humble. So anyways, hopefully you guys like all of these tips. Hope you got something out of this. Definitely check out some of these resources that I shared with you. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.